the demands of a pro athlete, like the pressures.
Yeah.
From, I don't care. We've been talking a lot about social media today. The pressures, even socially, to perform. But then you have sponsors. You have your family to support. Any of these pro athletes, this is their gig, dude.
Yeah.
This is what they do. They have to have a physical body that can perform 3 to 5 times a year at an elite level. So when you don't have that, that's tough.
Yeah. That's something.
Welcome back to the Next Aid Station. I'm your host, Jake Kilgore, alongside co-host, my right-hand man, literally on my right, not on my left.
Nope.
But on my right, Mick Garrison.
What's up, dude?
If you don't know Mick, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I'm not the hated guy right now across the internet like you are.
If you don't know Mick, you haven't been roofied in a gay bar. I don't know.
No, but I'll get you.
I'll get you. Yes, we had a few reels this last week that we got a lot of comments. That's been kind of fun. So if you haven't seen him, go see him, and then go hate guy in the cap.
Yep, that was you.
That was me, and that was fun. It's been fun. This is great. So we pick great topics here. We debate things back and forth for sure. One thing is always true. We're always right.
Always.
So that's tough for everybody else.
Even when we disagree.
Somehow we're both right.
Yep.
Good. So, okay. Last week we hit on CCC, and it is racing in like a day or two. I think by the time this posts, it'll be like the running of the CCC.
You said that like you were Italian.
CCC. Yeah.
Si.
Exactly.
This is a French thing, dude. Come on.
Yeah, it is. Oui. So, you know what we should recap real quick? I feel like it'd be almost disrespectful if we didn't say something about last week. The biggest thing that happened last week in ultra trail running, I would say, is Jeff Browning's FKT of the Colorado Trail.
That was cool.
Our guy. I kept turning on my phone, going to Instagram and like following along. What felt like a month.
It was a week.
7+ days.
Long days.
He just would keep grinding.
I know.
I actually thought, oh, he's not going to get the record. I didn't realize he was like on pace pretty much the whole time. But there's different, you can go north, you can go like Denver to Durango or Durango to Denver, and then there's like the east divide and the west divide. It's like there's a few different FKTs in there. But if you were listening and you did not follow or don't know what we're talking about, Jeff Browning did the Colorado FKT, fastest known time, from Durango. So he did all the San Juans first
To Denver.
up to Denver, and did it in 7 days and change, and beat the FKT, I want to say, by like 8 hours. Earlier this summer, the FKT was broken from Denver to Durango. He beat it by like a day. He did it in just over 6 days. So southbound, Durango, south of Denver?
I don't know.
Denver.
You're usually pretty good at that.
Yeah. I know that Florence is south of Denver.
You been there?
I've spent a little time in Florence. I didn't get to trail run a ton. I got to track run on dirt.
I've been to Florence and back way more times than you have.
True.
They just wouldn't let you leave.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me leave. I think I hold the FKT at the Florence prison camp, though.
You do.
I have the FKT of the 50K.
It was in July.
I hold at least one FKT.
Yep.
So anyway, yeah, y'all gotta go look it up. Go to Jeff Browning's Instagram and check out the posts over the last 7, 8, 9 days. Holy crap.
Dude, he's badass.
He's going 75 miles a day, sleeps for a couple hours.
He's so fast too. It's not like he's just doing it. Like he
ain't through hiking this.
Dude, he doesn't slow down. The guy's amazing.
On the live stream and on like the posts, they said people through hike the Colorado Trail in 4 to 6 weeks.
Whoa.
Jeff just knocked it out in 7 days.
Huh.
Yeah. So Denver, southwest trek down to Durango. That's far.
How many miles
he went
was
the
that?
other way. When I heard him on a podcast, he was like, I want to hit the San Juans when I'm fresh. So he hit the San Juans first and went like north, basically. It's 490 miles.
That's a little rude.
Yeah. Do you think he wanted a few more miles?
No.
No.
You can't just get that extra 10?
Yeah, he didn't want them.
Okay.
Kyle Curtin. Okay, I was blanking his name for a second. Kyle Curtin broke the FKT earlier this summer, like a month or two ago, going from Denver to Durango. He lives in Durango. And he went Denver to Durango in like 6 days, 15 hours or something like that. Just call it 6.5 days.
He's just running home.
He says he lives 2 to 3 miles from the trailhead in Durango. And he had planned on, I just think it'd be really cool to like hit the FKT and then run home. And I listened to him on a podcast and he was like,
hell no.
Yep. I was done. He's like, I didn't even want to like walk or run home.
2 or 3 miles might as well be 20.
Might as well be 2-3 days.
Yeah, no. I get
So I would bet for the first time ever, he's like, I'm going to drive home. Like someone's going to drive me home. Because he probably just runs to the trailhead every day like I do. If you run ultras and you run 10, 20 miles a day, you're not driving to the trailhead if it's a couple miles away.
If he's like in a pinch for time, he probably does drive there.
But I thought it was pretty funny listening to him talk about Kyle Curtin doing his. So Jeff helped Kyle. Jeff paced Kyle in the last segment in Durango. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that.
So a couple of FKTers. We've talked a lot this season on this podcast about records being broken. Nearly every race, it seems like either male or female or both are breaking records.
Yep.
FKTs are dropping like flies.
Yeah. The mountains are shrinking.
The mountains are getting lower.
They're getting lower. It's flatter. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, they're not getting faster or stronger or more educated.
I noticed that Scott Jurek was there.
Scott Jurek was there.
He knows something about those FKTs.
He knows something about trail running.
Yeah.
Mike McKnight changed his plans this year. He dropped a bunch of 200 milers he didn't want to do, couldn't do, whatever, his own reasoning to not do them. And he's like, I'm going to go try. He is trying the Arizona Trail for the third time.
I know. He's not going to give up.
No. So with all of this, kind of following people on social, following Jeff all week long, Mountain Outpost was there for a few days, kind of promoting, and I don't know if they were promoting, but like helping, because Jeff was raising money, which was kind of a cool thing. So I think kind of a new thing people are doing now with these FKTs is, yeah, they're going for them, but they almost need like a bigger why. So they're raising money for like a cause that means something to them, which is pretty cool. So Jeff was raising money for a cause, and, you know, they all kind of have done this, have started doing that. So in doing that, I'm thinking today's draft, Mick, we should draft like the trail running socials that you should follow.
The influencers?
Yeah, but we don't like the word influencer. So I'm thinking like podcasts, either people or entities that if you're in trail running, specifically like ultras, who should you be following on social?
A good follow.
A good follow. Give me a good follow.
Okay.
So the obvious ones, Next Aid Station, DC Peaks, Mick running. The Jake Kilgore.
I don't know if there's room for any more followers on that one.
Yeah, we're kind of full.
I'm up to like 500.
Whoa. So excluding the obvious ones for us, the real obvious ones I think we should draft.
Okay.
I'll take like the entity, we'll say. Like
the podcast or
the podcast.
not the person.
You give me a person.
Okay.
My draft is first.
You get to go first?
I believe so. Since we're doing them different, I don't think it matters. Give me the first pick, man.
Okay, you get the first pick because this is delayed gratification. That means I get it next time.
Great.
Let's go.
Okay. So my first pick of who you should follow in the ultra scene, I'm going to say Dylan Bowman and the Run Free Trail podcast. So you can go follow Debo on his own or Run Free Trail. They're doing so many awesome things for the sport. He interviews all the big names. He's at all the big events. He's got like a fantasy free trail, which is really fun. He's doing some cool stuff. So huge. He was a pro athlete forever. He still, I guess, is a pro athlete, but he's kind of slowing down the racing and really taking the podcasting and the free trail to full time. So I'd go Debo and Run Free Trail.
It's a good pick, bro. He did very well at Hard Rock.
Yep.
Like
he can still compete.
He's like one of the top names in ultra running right now, and I love listening to him at Western.
He's very good on the mic.
Yeah,
his live commentating is good.
Yeah, very good. Okay, good pick. I like that. With my number one pick, I am selecting the GOAT, Kilian Jornet. 1.6 million followers for a reason. You know, some of the coolest things that he does aren't even trail running. It's his mountaineering stuff.
Dude, when I watch his stuff, I get nervous.
Yeah.
He's got a
He just did the
GoPro on
Matterhorn.
his helmet.
3 people died like last week on the Matterhorn.
And he's like scaling it
By himself?
freehand.
Yeah, it's no joke. That's like scary, dude. And he just crushes those.
Didn't he?
I'm just going to go run up Mount Everest with no oxygen.
He broke the summit record at Mount Everest just running it.
Yeah. In fact, he did it. He did it twice in a week. Mm-hmm. Or like he waited a week and did it again because his stomach didn't feel good.
He's like, I think I can do better.
Just a beast.
Runs up Mount Everest.
Yes. Kilian Jornet.
It's not even fair. He's going to run Mount Everest and the Matterhorn and then just enter Sierra Zinal 28K and win it.
Yeah.
Whatever's
He's just
range.
like, Emily, I'll see you later. I'll be right back.
You got the kid for a minute?
I'm just going to go knock out a 100-miler over the sketchiest peaks in the world.
I'll throw my GoPro on for the people.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. My number 2 pick. I'm going to say, with my number 2 pick, social followers, Jamil Curry, Aravipa, Mountain Outpost. It's all kind of one big family. But Jamil is the man. And I think what he's doing with Mountain Outpost specifically, obviously it's going to all their Aravipa races because they're kind of sister companies. But that entity, like family of trail running entities, is freaking awesome. So if you don't know about Mountain Outpost, Aravipa, Jamil, give them a follow. I think it's awesome.
I agree. I actually think that's a very important one to follow to find out what's going on like right now in the future of the sport. With my second pick, I'm going to kind of go back the opposite end of that. And I'm going to say Scott Jurek. You like the book Born to Run?
Jerk.
Born to Run?
Love Born to Run. It's like the first book I read.
The FKTs. This dude has won everything. Has 237 followers or 1,000 followers. He's like one of the top trail runners ever.
And doesn't he wear like a visor with his bushy hair?
Yeah, that's why you picked him and Carl to be the coach of the Olympians.
Exactly. He's my Steve Kerr.
He's just OG and badass.
Yeah. If I'm going to take Steve Kerr and Popovich to coach my USA Olympic team, then I'm going Carl and the Jerk.
That's right. Yeah, you're not going to be into ultra running and not follow him.
Yep.
You got to follow Scott.
Okay. Love it. Number 3 for me. Local guy, but he's doing big things now nationally and also on the world stage. His podcast is growing quickly in the last 12 to 24 months. I have noticed it a ton in the last 12 months. Finn Melanson and Run Single Track, right out of Salt Lake, but he gets all the big dogs, a lot of big names, and now he's got some pretty big sponsorships behind his pod, and he did just win the Elephant Rock 50K, so that's kind of a big deal.
Oof.
Yeah. Big deal. And you know what he posted on his Strava? It was his last race before he gets dad strength.
Oh.
So Finn's got a kid coming.
Yeah. I mean, he can also go crush a 200 miler.
Yeah. I think he's seventh in Cocodona.
Yeah. He's kind of good at running too, not just talking about it.
Right. He's good at running and good talking about it. But guess what? He's going to have a kid. So
that's it.
That's it, Finn. Good job. Maybe just stick to the podcast.
He ended on Elephant Rock. He should have ended on DC Peaks.
Yeah, I think he might be running our race actually.
Maybe the baby was coming before then.
Yep. So Finn and Run Single Track.
Cool. Okay, with my third pick, I'm going to pick someone who I think has changed the sport. I think that my last pick was very much heavy on the past, and this one is very much heavy on the future. Candace Burt. The 200 mile, now 300 mile, and growing this. She's a damn good race director.
And she is a world record holder.
Yeah, she did an ultra marathon every day for 7 years.
That was a long time.
Yeah, that was wild.
Okay, great.
And the Instagram following, she has a lot of followers, and does a lot of good posts too. So it's not just that there could be people that are awesome in trail running and crush it, but they don't really post anything.
There's a lot of those actually.
Right. So,
and some of them post and they'll be very descriptive and educational on what they tried and failed at and what works and what doesn't and how they succeeded. And I think those are a lot of the reasons why I think we're seeing records being broken. People like that.
Yeah.
Number 4. I'm going to go with the people's choice. This could be the most popular choice. I said I couldn't pick you. I couldn't pick Mick. So I am going to pick Sally McRae at Yellow Runner and her Choose Strong podcast. I guess people asked her forever, almost like begging her forever to do a podcast. And she just started it in the last year. But big name, Nike runner, has accomplished a ton of things. I want to say she's almost entering that Dylan Bowman phase of I don't think I can compete at the highest level. I can still compete and crush most of the field, but not at the level I'm used to winning at. So they go ultra trail business person. That's kind of the phase she's in right now. And I think it's pretty fun to see that transition.
She's going to hear this and she's going to accept your challenge and go out and win her next race.
Go get it, Sally. And then I will send you a yellow heart emoji.
Hell yeah.
Like the people do.
Yellow. I got it. Mm-hmm. I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. With my 4th pick, this dude he's on Mount Rushmore of trail runners of all time. You just talked about him. He has great content. He can crush the 100. He can crush the longer distances, and he's just a cool dude. Bronco Billy. Jeff Browning.
Giddy up.
Let's go.
Giddy up. Go Bronco Billy. Number 5, my 5th and final pick. Younger guy. Probably the younger guy on my picks. And I've enjoyed listening to his podcast over the last year. And he also is a very good runner. I don't think he's at the elite level. I think he's probably somewhere around maybe mine or Finn's level. Good runner, but not elite. Joe Corcione and the Everyday Ultra podcast. It's crazy how he gets really good guests on his show. Really good guests. And I like that he breaks down all of his races in full depth. really long podcasts. If you're interested in listening to like a long podcast about like his experience at Cocodona, he did the URA 100 this year. So he just won some other like a 6-hour race. It was like most amount of miles in 6 hours. He won that, kind of a local thing. So I like Joe Corcione's stuff, and I like what he's posting, what he's doing for the sport at the Everyday Ultra.
Those type of podcasts where they break it down like that, I like those on runs.
Yeah, it's like a long run.
You just go for a long run and listen to it, and then you can really just get into every little detail of it.
When I committed to Tahoe 200, it was right around the week of Cocodona 250, and then Joe Corcione finished and had like a 3-hour podcast. It was just him talking about his 3 days on the Cocodona course, and I listened to it on an entire long run.
Yeah, it's perfect.
The whole thing.
There you go.
Yep.
Okay, with my 5th pick, I'm going to pick one of my favorite runners. He doesn't have the huge following that like a Killian does or whatever, but he's an older guy. He's our age. Jason Schlarb.
Yes.
Podium, Hard Rock, first American multiple times to finish UTMB. This dude's fast.
Yeah, he is.
And he posts good stuff.
His knowledge is insane. He has been doing this for so long, and he shares all of it. Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
I like that pick.
Thanks.
I like old Schlarb.
Yeah, me too. He's cool.
Plus, I like saying his last name.
Hell yeah.
The Schlarb.
Yep.
What kind of nicknames do you think he got in high school?
That Mick the Schlarb that I didn't get.
If your last name is Schlarb, you're getting some pretty solid nicknames.
I share that with him.
Yes. Okay. All right, this week, let's get at it. Dude. UTMB. My goodness. Pulled up the names.
I know.
I
know.
We just flip coins? What are we doing?
I've been excited to talk to you about this because this is like, I'm a UFC fan. I like to get the fights and watch them.
You're a violent man.
Yeah. When you get like two of the top fighters, it's so when you just have no idea who's going to win. It's so exciting. There's no favorite. It's anybody like this. That's what's really exciting.
Yep.
And I pulled up this stacked field for UTMB, and I felt the same way. I'm like, whoa, holy crap! Every name. I'm like, they could win it. They could win it. Let's break it down.
There's so many, and almost like with Western. So let's go females first. On the female side, like Western, Courtney wasn't in. Courtney is not in UTMB. So the first question is like, can Katie Scheid win? I don't know if Katie Scheid can win UTMB after winning. Does she have the legs to climb with the Europeans?
That's what makes this fun.
I mean, she crushed Western, and now this is her next race.
I would be surprised if she doesn't have the legs to do this. I'm not saying she will, but you're bringing her up for a reason.
I don't know that even men or women's, if I'm going to be surprised if any of the 5 or 10 names that we drop, if any of them just win it. I don't think we'll be surprised. We'll be like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like we talked about that person. Mm-hmm. It's not like this landslide Killian Jornet's running or...
Well, even with him, with this, if you have a Jim Walmsley.
There's so many names.
Bro.
So, okay, women's, Katie Scheid, Emily Hawgood.
Yeah.
We like them. I like the Fuzhou Zhang.
Yeah. She took second Western.
Did she take? Yeah, she did take second.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Esther.
Yeah.
Everyone just knows her as Esther, rightfully so. How are we going to try and say her last name?
She's fast.
Esther is phenomenal.
She can do the climbing and she can do the flatter stuff.
I
guess you could say Western's flatter, even though,
It is flatter for sure.
Compared to UTMB. Yeah, she can do both of those.
I like Ida Nilsson.
Me too.
There's so many. I did my fantasy free trail picks, and I got Ida in there.
Marianne Hogan.
Yes. I got Ruth Croft.
She took second a couple of years back, Hogan.
And she's Canadian.
Therefore, what?
And she's Canadian, you guys.
Oh.
So she'll top
Follow
10.
her on Instagram.
So, you know who I really, really like is Abby Hall. I really like her. I really like her.
To podium?
To podium.
Oh.
I do. She, I believe, came off of an injury in 2023. So she podiumed CCC 2 years ago, and I believe she was hurt last year, and now she's like back better than ever.
She did it the year in 2021 too.
Yep. So
okay, let's roll.
Sometimes the injury is like, oh, they just got a bunt. They got something went wrong and they had an injury, so they had a little out surgery, some sort of surgery done, and then they end up taking so much time to come back that I think the rest of their body, mind and soul, just get this like needed recovery.
You could say that like that's what happened to Jason Schlarb.
That happened to Hayden Hawks.
But it did not happen with Francois.
Yeah. The demands of a pro athlete, like the pressures.
Yeah.
From, I don't care, we've been talking a lot about social media today. The pressures even socially to perform. But then you have sponsors, you have your family to support. Any of these pro athletes, this is their gig, dude.
Yeah.
This is what they do. They have to have a physical body that can perform 3 to 5 times a year at an elite level. So when you don't have that, that's tough.
Yeah. That's something.
So yeah, I really like Abby. Abby's on my podium.
Okay.
I like Abby and Esther.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be a mistake,
Katie,
not to put Katie.
I would have shut you down.
So we have to put Katie on the podium. So I like Katie Scheid, Esther, and Abby Hall. I like 2 out of 3 Americans on the podium. That's kind of who I like. Who do we want to pick to win out of those 3? Are we going to say...
You're going to leave Marianne Hogan off?
I am. I mean, I like those 3. I like Marianne. I like Ida. I like Emily Hoggood. I like Ruth Croft. Fazhao Zhang. You could kind of go any direction.
Okay, tell me who did you say podium again?
Katie Scheid.
Yes, I like it.
Esther.
Yeah.
And Abby Hall is kind of my dark horse podium.
Okay, you say Abby. I'm rolling Marianne.
Okay, so we have a slightly different podium, but we are going to unanimously, from the next aid station, pick Katie Scheid.
Yep.
Bet. Okay, so let it be written. That's Mick hitting the gavel. Mick just slammed the gavel. Okay.
The viewers know because they're watching this on YouTube.
Yeah. If you're watching, you saw it right from camera number 2. Okay. Men's side. Oh, mercy. The field is stacked and ready to harvest.
You better call Jorts. I don't know what to do here.
We better call. I don't know who Jorts has got. I don't know who Bill Hyatt's got, but let's just run through the names real quick, because of course we have to start with Mike McMonagle, DC Peaks photographer this year.
Of
Shit in the woods.
Yeah. He's going to be taking pictures while he's running.
Yes.
Out there.
And man of best man of better half of Leah Yingling, Mike McMonagle. Mike, good luck, buddy. We love you. We're cheering for you.
Yeah.
You're on our watch list, but you're not on our podium. Sorry, bro. We love you.
Yes. I mean, look, bro. Jim Walmsley's running this race.
I heard.
That's really something. You know who I like? Aurélien Dunon-Palaz.
You love him.
You know why?
Because he won Hard Rock.
He didn't just win it.
He didn't just won it?
He didn't win it. He crushed it. His
did.
climbing is insane.
Yep.
So that's somebody. You know who else can crush Hard Rock? And if they can crush Hard Rock, they can crush UTMB? Ludo.
Ludo set a course record this year.
Is he going to be ready for this?
Yes. If you did Hard Rock, you are ready for UTMB.
Okay, so we got Jim,
It's what, like 5 weeks ago?
Palaz, Ludo, Tom Evans. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
There's more. Who else?
Zhang Shen,
Yeah, he's always fast.
Benyat Marmasol. He podiumed Hard Rock last year. Jermaine podiumed UTMB
Yes.
last year and is Katie Scheide's husband.
That's a power couple.
I mean, we didn't even know that
I didn't know that.
when we were going to draft power couples. One of these weeks we're
I'll
going to
take
draft.
them.
I'll take Katie and
Yeah,
Jermaine.
bro.
Great. Well,
Pau Capel,
I know. He's on my top 10. I got Powell coming in at 8th.
Hannes Namberger. He took third last year.
I'm hungry all of a sudden.
Yeah,
Cheese.
not hamburger
I'll take a double with cheese.
with an N.
I'll take a double with cheese. Hannes Hamburger.
That's where the name hamburger came from, bro.
Germany.
I mean, we took it and threw the bun and lettuce and tomato on it and made it what it is. But yeah,
Okay.
thanks to Hannes.
I'm going to throw something out there at you
Okay.
live on the pod. Last week, we went all Utah
Yeah.
CCC podium. There is a very high likelihood we see an all French men's podium at UTMB.
No,
Let
there's
me
not.
just give you some options. Aurélien
Yeah.
Dunon-Palaz.
Yep.
Mathieu Blanchard.
Yep.
Ludo.
Yep.
And Benyat Marmasol.
Yeah.
That's 4.
Well, how
And
did you word it exactly? A very high likelihood?
very high.
No.
It's happening?
No, it's not.
I'm just saying.
It could happen.
It's high.
No.
Okay, what's high likelihood? And
That
how
Jim
would you?
Walmsley's on the podium.
That's it. You're just guaranteeing Jim's on the podium.
I'm not guaranteeing it, but I'm very highly likely.
How would you define highly likely? Greater than a 51% chance? Greater than 70% chance?
If I were to bet,
You're a terrible better, though.
if I was going to bet $1,000,
Whoa. 2 months of wages?
2 months, that's what you get.
DC Peaks.
Takes me like 4. If I'm betting $1,000 on it, I'm betting for Jim Walmsley. I don't know about 51% or not, but it's his to lose, in my opinion.
You believe this race is Jim's to lose
I do.
because he set the course record and won it last year.
I think he's the best trail runner in the world right now. Right now. Okay. It would be hard for me to bet against Killian, but it would be also really hard for me to pick against Jim, even in UTMB.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
So I'm
But
just
saying.
I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm pushing back on the highly likely. I'm saying it could happen.
The reason I'm going to say it's highly likely is I have in my fantasy free trail picks 5 Frenchmen out of 10, but I have 4 in my top 6.
Yeah, they're badass.
in my top 6.
I'm with you. I'm not
So
saying
what
they're
I'm
not.
saying is Jim and Tom Evans have the best shot at dethroning the Frenchman, but that's not a lot of shots. That's like, okay, one guy just has a bad day. Another guy DNFs. Boom. French podium. The French could absolutely podium in their own backyard, and no one's going to be surprised if it happens.
No, I wouldn't be surprised, I guess. Watch out for Jermaine.
Okay. What are the chances Jim doesn't podium?
I mean,
Is it win or nothing? Does he win or DNF? Or is it like, no, he could take third? You know how sometimes races go that way?
Yes, he could take third with this field.
Sometimes these races, they're so intense and you go out so hard, Dakota Jones style, Jim will find himself with that type of pressure.
Yes.
Halfway through this race.
Tom Evans will put pressure on you.
Yeah.
That's the type of runner he is.
Those two are going to front run this thing.
Is there a better climber right now than Ludo?
In this field?
In the world.
Who dropped out of Hard Rock?
Francois.
You like Ludo over Francois?
No, I'm just asking a question. I'm not saying
I don't think Ludo's
Aurelian
I don't
can
think
climb.
Ludo is the best climber in the world today. I'm probably going to take Francois.
the best climber in the world.
Technically, Ludo's like, no.
Courtney Dauwalter,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. But Ludo, it'd be hard if Ludo was sitting right here in our podcast and we're like, you're not the best climber in the world. What's he going to say?
He's probably pretty humble and would agree with you.
But then he'd be like, oh, cool. Well, what about this course record from last month? Last month.
I know.
It's not like it was 3 years ago.
I know.
It was like 6 weeks ago, 5 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
dude.
That's a great discussion, actually. Best climber. Him and Francois.
Yeah. All of
So
these.
is Jim just a better racer? Like his strategy and his approach is just better?
Well,
And he's faster?
he's faster, but when he moved to France, I think that's when he upped his climbing game.
Yeah.
You can't fake your way through this race, right? And he crushed it. So I don't know. Like maybe that he's not dropping people on the climbs, but he's doing good enough on the climbs and he's crushing them on the other sections. So if you're saying overall in the race, Jim Walmsley, but as for the best climber, like is he really a better climber than Ludo? I'm not saying that.
I'm not either. I think Jim is a better racer. When I've watched, I haven't seen a lot of races because they're hard to watch. But when I watch as much live stream as I have in the last, let's call it year, 2 years, Jim's transitions at these aid stations, I think they're unmatched. Like I'm so impressed with like his crew and what he does differently or faster than others. And I think you can't just be the only one that does that forever, but he's like innovating at the aid
I haven't
station.
really paid attention to that.
Bro, he comes flying down the trail, taking his shirt off while running at full speed.
Hell yeah.
Usually you take your shirt off. He's throwing his shirt off, dude, and then he literally just throws it to his crew, and they pull a white one out of a freaking cooler, an ice cooler at Western. Soaking wet, frozen white T-shirt. Grabs it, gone. I'm like, that was cool. I've never seen that.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
I like it.
And maybe it's just because the live stream thing is big now and maybe others have been doing it. But there's lots of little things like that. Jim keeps a lot of those secrets to himself. So I think he is one of our smarter racers in the sport. And it probably helps that you're the fastest.
Yeah, I like the home field advantage thing with Blanchard and Pomeray and Palaz. Like, I hear what you're saying. Okay, let's dial it down.
Okay. I don't know how we're going to agree. We're going to have to agree on the podium. I guess we didn't agree on a women's.
Okay.
Okay. For sure, we are picking Ludo.
I'm gonna pick Ludo to podium, not win.
Bet. We got Ludo, Pomeray on our podium. I feel like we have to take Aurelian Palaz. Dunan Palaz.
I don't know.
Tom Evans.
Why not Jermaine?
We're going to have to pick different podiums because I already have my podium right here.
Okay. I'm picking Ludo.
He's not on my fantasy free trail podium.
Why? What does that mean?
It means I didn't pick him on that one.
Oh, I was like, was he not on there? Is this breaking news? He's not doing it?
No, he's racing.
You
I
like
think
Matthew
I'll change
Blanchard
it.
a lot. I'm surprised that you're not. No?
I got Matthew in 4th or 5th.
Okay, I got Ludo in 3rd. I got Jim to win it.
Okay, I'm with you.
And I don't know.
Who do we want for 2? Tom Evans? I kind of like Tom.
No. You take Tom.
What has Tom Evans done this year? Just been.
This particular year?
This is his A race. He's laying it all out there for this race. He didn't run Western. The dude is fresh and ready to go.
Okay.
You don't like him?
Of course I like him.
You don't like him to the podium?
I put him on my team, bro.
But do you want him on your podium?
I'm cheering for him. I just don't know if he's going to.
Okay.
All of these guys are really hard to pick against. I can't just be like Tom Evans. He's not podium. Like,
Yeah.
he totally can.
Just ho-hum him.
Yeah,
Okay.
like I think I'm gonna go with Aurelian Dunan Palaz to take 2nd.
Okay. So you like Jim, Aurelian, Ludo.
Yes.
Would there be a side bet potentially between you and I?
See how I just left one Frenchman off there. Just
Yeah.
got to get that $1,000.
Yeah. I'm thinking, are you so confident in Jim that would you take a Jim versus the field bet? Like the old
Like
Tiger Woods? Yeah. You could take Tiger versus the field all day long and feel really confident about it. Is that how you're feeling about Jim?
Yeah.
Like he's Tiger Woods right now?
I don't think anybody in this. I would not pick anybody as amazing as all these people are. I would not pick any of them to beat him.
So you're taking Jim.
If,
I almost honestly am considering taking the field against you.
you want to talk about pressure? He's clearly listening to this podcast.
Yeah. Jim. I think he goes by James. James Walmsley.
I don't know, man. If you,
Look, Jim, you're racing in what, 2 days? This is the last thing you listen to. It took how many years for an American man to win UTMB? You think we're just going to go hit it a second year in a row? And the rest of the world doesn't have something to say about it?
here's the problem. He's in his prime.
Tis a problem. You don't think who else is in their prime on here though? But they're not Jim.
In their prime. Jim Walmsley. I'm picking him. He's so fast. They're all so fast, but he's so fast. I would have a hard time if Kilian Jornet was in this race, and I know he's doing the shorter distances. I've just seen it enough that if Kilian's in it, I'm like, I can't. It's like Courtney. I can't pick against them. I could be wrong, but it's hard for me to pick against them. And the way that Jim Walmsley is performing over the past few years, I mean, obviously longer than that, but really the past few years with the climbing.
Is Jim as dominant as Courtney is right now?
No one is as dominant as Courtney.
So no.
No.
Does Jim Walmsley have 100-meter speed? Because you said he's fast. Should know if you're talking about the 100-meter. Because that's clearly, according to the world, how you determine the fastest human. But you've been saying all day, Jim's fast, and now I'm confused.
He is fast for ultra running.
But he's not top speed fast.
But Usain Bolt whoop his ass.
So did Cheetah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to pick against Jim because he's like the only American man on the men's side that has a shot at podium and potentially top 10. Is another U.S. male going to take top 10?
Drew Holman?
Drew's great. I'm not going to say he's not, but
I mean, if you have to pick someone else.
Again, I'm just going back to the pressure of if there's U.S. pressure, U.S. ultra pressure, it's all on the shoulders of one freaking guy.
I don't know how much he actually cares.
I think the best U.S. men are in the CCC.
What? Yeah. Yeah. But when you get out there and you start your race.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't care. I think he can shut that out. Like, I'm doing my thing.
Yeah.
And he will. The one thing about Jim Walmsley is he could blow up. Because he will. He'll
redline this thing.
Yes, he will. So that is possible. And if he does that, but Tom Evans would do the same thing. They're going. They are going.
Tom Evans is going to be slamming Red Bull.
So if that happens, then yeah, the field could overtake him.
I just feel like there's a lot of internal pressures of like repeating U.S. male winning it again. The only U.S. guy that I think has a shot to top 10, in my personal opinion.
Okay, let me
top 10.
Let me explain something. I don't think that it's a runaway. I don't think if you're talking about like a basketball game, I don't think Jim Walmsley's going to go out and win by 20.
Yeah.
I think he'll win by 3. Last second shot. Like
he's going to cover the spread.
I think he's going to find a way, but I do not think that it's a landslide victory. I think with my confidence of him, it makes it sound like I'm like, oh, he's going to crush this field. No, he's not.
The field's way too strong.
Yes, way too strong. And I wouldn't be surprised if somebody beat him. But if you have to pick someone, I'm like, I think Jim Walmsley finds a way. But
to repeat, that'd be so amazing.
Yeah.
How great would that be for the sport?
That's why I wanted him to win Western.
Because if he wins this, he is ultra male athlete of the year.
He's King Jim.
He's already King Jim when it comes to Western. Can he be King Jim in Europe too?
Well, we already know he can. He did it last year.
Yeah. What's crazy about that is he beat Zach Miller. Do we have a Zach Miller of 2024? Like, is there a U.S. guy that's going to be battling with him that he has to pass on the freaking single track?
No, but that could easily be
any of these dudes.
Yeah.
Tom.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool last year. The U.S. goes 1-2.
And the women's.
That was amazing. Mm-hmm. Oh, goodness.
Who did you take second?
I think I'm going to ride with you. And I feel like my heart won't let me choose someone other than Jim.
Okay.
After all that, I think I have to choose Jim with you. I would like to go Jim, Tom, Ludo.
Great. It's good.
That's it. That's it. It's officially in.
Yep.
Where's the gavel? Boom. Okay. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait for this. I probably won't sleep like them. I'll be just like them on my couch.
I will.
Exactly.
They start at a different time
They start at night, which is like morning for us.
to get to actually see them finish.
Huh, imagine that. Imagine that. Of a 100-miler that starts in the evening.
Yep.
Such a novel idea, those UTMBers. Okay. I have some closing remarks from Rockstar. Thank you, Rockstar, for being a part of the podcast. Mick, cheers,
Yes,
mate.
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers. Rockstar.
I would also like to say, as an outro to today's episode, thank you for watching. Our YouTube channel is growing, which is awesome. So subscribe on the YouTube channel and make sure you subscribe, like, share wherever you find this podcast.
Hit us. Hit us with a like.
Apple. I watch on Apple, but you watch on Spotify?
Spotify.
All right, listen. I listen on Apple. You're a Spotify guy.
So here's how I do it.
Okay.
If I'm running, I'm listening to it on Spotify. If I'm at home or at the office or whatever, I'll throw it up on the TV on YouTube.
Ooh.
So it depends on what I'm doing.
Okay. So we as Next Aid Stationers try to give you guys options, right? You got listen options, you got watch options. So it really helps push the podcast out to more people, which is what we want. Because like we said, all these big name listeners, all these people we talked about on social, they're following us, they're listening to us. Kind of a big deal. So Jim, Tom, Ludo,
Yeah.
best of luck. Best of luck. All right, go out and get it. Thank you, Rockstar. Thank you, DC Peaks. We'll see you guys next week. Good luck at UTMB.